scoops. It is 2 scoops. The nurse. Same feminist lie. She was always acting like, and like a bunch of sheep. They felt everybody in that opener. The whole team. What did I write? Oh no. And then ran over in front of some guys, acting like somebody did something to her. Immediately, the men who are supposed to be Somali men are just standing around like, what do you want me to do? That's because she ran from across the street, putting on this whole victim show. It was unbelievable, but unbelievably, all these people believed her. That's stupid. Use your common sense. All she had to do was say a black man did it, and the other black man just stood there and wouldn't help her. What? And they don't give a. Yeah, this man hit me. He grabbed a rock and he hit me in my face, and I would have given him my number. And all y'all just watch. Y'all see it? I mean, she knew exactly what to say, how to say it, and how to act in order to get the black misandrous, feminists, and simps activated on social media. They use any common sense or logic, just get emotional like a bunch of 2-year-olds, and that's it. You know, stuff like I saw a baby on 459 in a diaper on a pitch black interstate. Hi, I am on Interstate 459 and just as soon as she fooled all these idiots, she pulled out the GoFundMe. She got all these black female suckers and these black male simps to give her $35,000 in just one day. Everybody was throwing money at her left and right, and now she's been able to scam over $42,000 while she's laughing at all the fools who believed her. Only to discover this was all a hoax. After contacting the police, the internet, contact Action black men all across the world because we're trying to hold her accountable. So she has access to saline, nurse from the alleged hospital, trying to hold her accountable like we did Carly Russell. The fact is, this was a hoax for viral views and the $32,000 that she's already raised on her GoFundMe, which she's done before. Shout out to this brother on TikTok. I'll leave the link below for you to see the rest. The woman totally lied. You even had a nurse who claimed that she put that solution in her face to get it to swell up and went to their clinic to get it drained out. You know who contacted me? The nurse. The nurse from the alleged hospital was not a hospital. It was a clinic. And this is what she had to say. Yes, she came in to get the saline extracted from the side of her face, which means she never got hit with a brick. She injected saline into her face to create the lump. That's why she wore the ski mask, so y'all wouldn't see the lump that she created. And don't forget, she's in the medical field, so she has access to saline. So, in warfare, and especially in guerrilla warfare, you always have to wait to strike. And so rather than me go off of the narrative which was being presented, and rather than me just go ahead and go up to bat and say something like, well, that dude should have just walked away. Well, that dude should have just did something else. Rather than say it's not that serious, I stayed in the bushes. I let everybody talk. And lo and behold, this comes out. Now, I know I'm going to sound far-fetched, but picture modern women in the West. I know this is going to sound a little bit extreme, but picture modern women like NATO, or like Ukraine, or like France, or like even United States when it comes to foreign affairs with people that they don't like. What do they do to these places? They destroy them, they destabilize them, and eventually they lead to unrest and confusion in these places.
The example I can use is the Ukraine situation, which is a proxy war. It's a proxy war that has led to other conflicts. Now you have Belarus going toe to toe with Poland. Now you have Belarus acquiring nuclear weapons to protect itself. And I say this to say that women in the West are agents of confusion. And they don't desire, as I said in previous videos, normality. This woman started a proxy war, and she did it how America does it most of the time. I'm going to go back to the example, more recent examples. You know, the West actually the other day tried to orchestrate another military junta in Burkina Faso against the progressive leadership of Ibrahim Traore, who we know is, getting more acquainted with China, Russia, and North Korea. The West doesn't like to see that. So, what did the West do? What did France do? They try to orchestrate another military junta. Luckily, Ibrahim Traore was quick to react, and that person is now dealt with and out of the way. The same situation in Niger. The French are trying their utmost best to stop the momentum in which we have going right now in these places. I say we because my tribe spreads pretty much is spread throughout the Sahel belt and just in West Africa in general. Now, granted, there's different branches of the tribe, and if you want to be like really serious, you can kind of consider the tribe now an ethnic linguistic group. You know, perhaps I was from another tribe and we just assimilated into that tribe and we just became what we are today. Komi Torobe, Ledi Futatoro, Miro Hebi Torogo Go. But anyhow, that's beyond the point. But some lessons can be learned from this turn of events. Number one, the Western woman does not desire good. She had the best teachers, which is the American system. When you look at the lies that America says about certain things, these lies are said to make more money, to bring more income. For example, when George Bush knocked the Twin Towers down, he became a rich man. Look at his oil fields in Texas. When it comes to this woman who is of Somali origin, she finessed people. She actually did self inflicted harm in order to reach the goal that she had in mind. Rather than the women, the banshees, and the hyenas, rather than them apologize for their miscalculation and for moving off of emotion and not logic, they have nothing to say about it. What they did is they turned it into a diaspora war. But still, used a woman who is not from their diaspora as trigger to exercise their hatred and their vitriol for black men. This is not too far off. When we look at the situation with Russia and Ukraine, the United States is using this situation to exercise its hate for Russia, exercise its hate for Russia becoming a superpower. Not understanding, well, the West not understanding, and the majority of American people not understanding that Ukraine is a Nazi regime. And that Ukraine, since 2014, has been a Nazi regime. Hence the reason why Russia got involved and tried to restore order. Unfortunately, because of this, it gaslighted the United States to build another war machine, fighting on different fronts. And now, unfortunately, it may become a Cold War. The gender war is a Cold War. We can see that the women who actually want normality between the genders are minuscule in comparison to the women who want animosity between the genders. So, what does that leave men to do? If you're like me, who now I call myself, my nickname is Digital Gorilla, Digital Nomad Gorilla. If you're like me, you'll hide in the bushes and you won't partake in the madness. You'll make your escape and you'll strike when you're in a better position to strike, meaning overseas. And you can lift the wool all the way off without being in danger. I'm going to end this video by saying a few things. And this is going to ruffle feathers, but I have to say it. When it comes to the East African community, the East Africans I get on most with are Eritreans. Maybe it's because of the bias I have for them due to the late great Nipsey Hussle. But also my day-to-day interactions with them have been nothing but cordial, cool, calm, respectful. I can't say the same about Somalis nor Ethiopians. Number one, with Somalis, although my hair is not like that, although my hair is pretty smooth and it's actually pretty damn long, you hear the J word, Jareer. That's largely due because I'm from West Africa. They accuse us and have these preemptive notions of us as troublemakers, as people who are degenerates. Meanwhile, people in their community are doing the most degenerate things. You look at what West Africans are being highlighted for when it comes to education. When it comes to education, I know more Nigerian doctors than I do Anglo doctors. A Nigerian got me into IT. He saw that I knew what I was doing on the computer. I just needed a little bit of guidance. And when I realized it, I realized that I was always keen on these kind of things. It's just that sometimes outside pressures get in the way. With the Ethiopians, it's the same thing. They're being known for things they accuse us of doing. But that's beside the point. The point is that the misinformation war will continue. And unfortunately, women will use you and use you as a scapegoat for that misinformation war. In these times of confusion, you still have to have foresight. Because they are so far gone, there's very few options left. Of course, the one option is to leave. The second option, and although this is an unnatural option, is with the advent of AI women, you may want to take that option. Now, women will say that you're looking in the wrong places and things like that, and you're attracting the wrong energy. When all of the energy is around you, you have no point, you have no choice but to adapt. I want to read a passage from a book that I'm reading right now that puts the nail in the coffin. Hold on, let me find it. Find it real quick. Okay. And I know this may sound a little extreme, what I'm about to say and read, but this is how I live my life, okay? As of right now, here, where I am, until I can get to a more natural place that suits me, aka back home in Africa, or most likely someplace that the name starts with a stan, basically, or ends with a basically. So this is in regards to Haitians, or we can say the Africans who created what we know as a Haitian when they were being prisoners, taken as prisoners of war, captives across the Atlantic. It reads, separated from their traditional modes of survival, homelands, communities, culture, spirits, living kinship ties, a pressing existential question was how captives would sustain their humanity in the uniquely inhumane spatial and temporary setting of the slave ship. Now, when I read that passage, right, I was like, holy shit. How do you maintain humanity when you're living in an inhumane place where your life your life is disposable and your life is not valued by Western society? Because of the simple fact, you look at how these women are moving out here, and also the men who advocate and facilitate their movement. Okay? I want to read one more passage and then I'm going to end the video. It says, West Central African societies define witchcraft broadly to include actions that indicate selfishness and the abuse of power. So when you see what modern women are doing, what are they doing? They're being selfish as hell and they're abusing power. And unfortunately, those who stand for natural order and law are very much outnumbered, meaning I myself am outnumbered. So I have to hide in the bushes like a maroon did in Haiti until they had enough resources to do what they need to do, which is where I am with it right now. So, with the Brickgate scandal, there are three things I take from this. Number one, women here will find any reason to hate you, even if you have nothing to do with their misfortune. Number two, African women or women who don't even consider themselves African but are from the African continent are so far plagued by this Western system that they're they have essentially became casualties in this gender war and will be left with the rest of the women. Number three, you will be called names even if you have the resources to partake in the foolery that all these red pill gurus tell you that you need to build yourself up to become a high value man. You will be called things for not wanting to partake in it, since you are one of the few that does not want chaos in their life. But with that being said, leave your thoughts and leave your comments. I'm off until the next one. Fula signing out. Njarama.